And we're back here at Bucyrus High School, Coach's Corner West. And in this segment, we're going to be just talking to the Bucyrus bowling teams and Coach Diane Kaple. And before we do that, we want to recognize our sponsors, Rob Lust at Edgefield Animal Clinic in Marion, Matt Ramsey, John Ziegler, Drew Young, Frank Heinlein and Associates at Bucyrus Blades, and Roger Brown at Winks Lock and Safe. They're the ones that keep us on the air. We got to definitely recognize them. We appreciate our sponsors. So, Coach Kaple, talk to us a little bit. Well, I'm sure a lot of people that might watch this segment are not familiar with high school bowling.
High school bowling is new to the area. This is our 4th season as a varsity sport. It's been a club for many, many years. High schools have had a club for 40-some years. Wow. In Crawford County. Mm-hmm. And then it became, I think the longest running, the first to go varsity was Crestline. Oh. And they went, I think it's been 8 to 9 years ago. And then Galleon, we went 4 years ago, Whitford is now. So it's one of the largest growing sports in the high school. It has really taken off, and there's scholarships for the kids. It's a well-recognized and well-attended sporting event. So it's good to see people coming out and supporting. We just had a tournament Saturday, and we had over 300 spectators.
Wow.
Yeah, we had 19 schools and 300 spectators. So, I mean, and people, if you've never had the opportunity to see a tournament, a bowling tournament, they are like no other. People bring step ladders to see up and over the over the crowds. Parents bring their step ladders. They have periscopes. It's awesome to see.
Well, isn't it the saying, necessity's the mother of invention?
Absolutely.
They figure it out.
Yep, they do. They gotta see their kids bowl. So.
Well, and with 300 spectators, I don't know that they can continue to say that football and basketball are the money sports. You guys are getting there, right?
Yeah, we are. It's a growing. Our program has 36 kids. We have one of the largest teams. We've got 2 JV boys and a JV girls team, and a varsity girls and varsity boys. So we've got 5 teams of bowlers, and we have a middle school program.
Wow.
So it's really grown in 4 years.
Yeah. I know when I was growing up, and your dad had just started the bowling center, Suburban Lanes. I lived 2 blocks from there. I grew up 2 blocks from there. We walked to the bowling alley, and there were tons of kids bowling. Yeah. And then it just seemed that the younger people kind of got away from it.
It did.
For a while.
It was like in the late 80s, early 90s was when it sort of declined, and you could see it declining, and it's back. Now that the schools have made it a varsity sport, it's back, and it's so good to see the youth, because bowling is a sport that you can do as an adult. It's one of those, you won't see a 40-year-old out on the football field. Well, I mean, unless they're professional. But I mean,
yeah,
you're
most of the time.
Your adult, that play football in high school will not be playing football as an adult. Correct. And this is a sport that you can, bowl throughout your whole life.
Yes.
Like a lot like golf.
I was going to say golf and bowling.
Golf, bowling, and swimming, I think, are about the only ones.
Sure.
Really. Too, so.
Yeah, there's a few.
There's a few other.
Few of my, contemporaries that we played some basketball.
Yeah. And you have those softball leagues and those stuff, but yeah, so it's good to see the sport growing to the level it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Now tell me a little bit about the fact that now that you've got more and more teams, it's not an N10 sport as of yet, but you have your own league that you've just developed.
We did. We just developed. It's called the Northwest Ohio Bowling League. Called the Noble, and we gathered. We're with 7 other schools that. 6 other schools. We're the 7th school that were not in. There was no league conference for them. We wanted to, let these kids be able to compete and earn awards and things. So we formed the league, and our girls team won the preseason tournament. It's Liberty Benton, Bucyrus, Winford, Crawford. Crawford is still currently a club, but they are going varsity next year.
Okay.
So they wanted to compete, so then if you can compete in a club and still be able to compete at sectionals, as long as you follow the Ohio Athletic. There's still many schools that still go to sectionals in the state that are just clubs. So
Okay.
that's a little different. So they wanted to be able to, they're doing the same thing as what we did when Todd went to state. We were still a club at that point.
Okay, God's plan.
So, yes, and so then that helps prepare you for it, so.
Okay, and it's kind of an eclectic league. When you talk about it, yeah, you have Seneca East, you have Winford, but, you know,
Crawford,
but
Liberty
you're talking
Benton.
about Liberty Benton, you talk about Fostoria.
Fostoria and North
Baltimore.
North Baltimore.
You don't
yeah.
see North Baltimore down this way very often.
No,
for any sports.
and they have a small house, but their teams, it's another growing sport. Seneca East just, theirs is a brand-new program.
Okay.
And so they have Seneca East, they have JV as well. Seneca East, Liberty Benton, Winford, and Bucyrus all have JV teams. The other ones are not there yet.
Varsity, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and Seneca East, I think, Bowles and Willard.
Yes.
That's their home.
Liberty Benton is in Findlay. So we're all over Fostoria, like I say, North Baltimore, so we get to travel. And we travel, we're doing a lot of tournaments this year. We're all over the state of Ohio for tournaments. Just we have Canton, Columbus, heading to Bell Fountain next Tuesday, so.
Wow. Yeah, that is getting around.
Yeah, we are. We're trying
But,
different
like
ways.
you say, kind of a fledgling sport in a manner of speaking for high school. You don't have the concentration of teams like everybody has a basketball team, everybody has a football team. Not everybody has a bowling team.
Yeah, and the travel part of it is good for them to get experience on different lane conditions. They have to be able to adjust to the lanes that they're on. We have suburban is wood lanes, but we also travel to a lot of synthetic lanes.
Oh, really?
So, yes. Synthetic is where most tournaments are in.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
That's a whole different, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to be able, the kids have to learn how to make that transition.
Sure. Okay. And the interesting part to me is, you're trying to, as you said, you're trying to get this to be a league sport. The biggest school in the league, Upper Sandusky, does not have a bowling team.
They do not. And Wyandotte Lanes, they have a nice center. I mean, I'm hoping that with us having a good chunk of the N10 having it, that this might encourage them to go on.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. Good deal. All right. Well, we'll come back here in a few minutes and we'll talk to your bowlers. We want to remind you first of all that we're brought to you in part by Lee Plymouth at the Plymouth Insurance Group in Bucyrus and Gallium, Hannah Newton at Wendy's, Bucyrus and Upper Sandusky, and North Central State College, Mansfield, and the Crawford Success Center in Bucyrus. All right, so introduce your bowlers to me, and then we'll
All right.
get some comments from them.
All right, this is Kaylee Horsley. She is a senior, she is our four-year senior. We've got three seniors and a freshman. Madison McDaniel, also will be a four-year letterman. And Brody Higginbotham, which is our freshman. And then Hayden Rittenberry, who is our other senior.
Okay,
So.
all right. Well, let's start out with the first senior here. You've been bowling for the entire 4 years of the program? Okay. And what really got you interested in bowling?
Honestly, I actually quit another sport that I didn't want to do, and then bowling became an option right at that moment, so I just kind of grabbed it and took the opportunity.
Oh, okay. So you hadn't really bowled prior to that?
I bowled when I was younger, like maybe 9 and 10 during the Saturday League, and then I quit for maybe 5 years, and then freshman year of high school, I just got back into it.
Okay. All right. And so you've been varsity all 4 of those years?
Yeah.
Because you didn't have JV a lot. When you were
Not our
young.
first year. We've had JV for the past 3.
Okay. So another 4 year.
Yeah, she's a 4-year, yep.
Okay. So you guys are doing pretty well this year. I've seen the standings, and Coach sends me the standings from the league. So how is that? In other sports, it's basketball, you're guarding people one-on-one. Football, you're tackling people. Bowling, it's kind of an individual sport, and yet you also know what the opponent is doing at that point.
I think other than like basketball being more like a physical sport, bowling's all in your head and it will mess you up regardless. It's really gotten to some of us sometimes, and it's really helped us. It's a team effort because whatever someone else is feeling, you're feeling, and it gets kind of in your head at times.
Sure. Okay. You play other sports besides bowling now?
As of now, I do track. I throw discus. I throw discus and shot put.
Okay.
Mhm.
So that's good. You're playing other sports as
Yeah.
well. Any idea that you would bowl beyond high school?
I've thought about it. But I'm not sure if I would really go through with it. But I do know there's like adult leagues held at Suburban that could be available for me if I ever do it.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be prepared for that then, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. We appreciate you coming out. We got pizza in the library.
Nice.
I'm not crying, I'm just coughing.
Oh,
We
no.
discussed that Diane has her cough, I have
Uh-huh.
mine. So far, she hasn't
Nope,
shared with us on air. So Maddie McDaniel, you're a senior as well.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your bowling experience and kind of how you got going on it.
Well, I actually didn't even plan on bowling at all, but my brother was a junior my freshman year,
Okay.
and I went to one of his bowling matches, and at the time they only had 4 girls, and a full team is 5 girls. And I just kept hearing people screaming my name, and they're like, you should join, and I was like, no, I'm okay, I'm all right. And then at the end of the match, Diane walked up to me, put her arm around my shoulder, and was like, so what do I got to do to get you on my roster? And I was like, you know what, just do it. Just put me on the roster. And then the next day, she was like, hey, you got some dress pants, we have a match today. And I was like, okay,
Wow.
I guess I'm on the team.
That's quick. No practice.
Nope.
Okay, and had you bowled before?
I was in a youth league when I was like 5 or 6.
Okay, a little experience,
Yeah.
but kind of in your more distant past, right?
Yeah.
For that time, okay. And do you play other sports as well?
I'm in softball, and I'm also in a marching band.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and we've discussed that, discussed it with the girls' basketball program. In schools this size, you need to,
Yes.
especially your athletes have to multitask because it's very difficult to have so much specialization. So,
the coaches work, we try our best. We've got, and right now there's the musical that's going on, so the kids
Oh,
are
yeah.
saying, can I leave practice? I got musical practice. So we try very hard to work around everyone's schedules.
my granddaughter's only in the 6th grade, and she's already got that going on. It's
Yep.
play practice and basketball practice, and,
Yep.
and then they have their,
It starts young.
yeah, they had their holiday musical the other day,
Yeah.
last week. So, yeah, it does start very young. But, most kids seem to adapt to that pretty
Yeah.
well, yeah. And still get the schoolwork done. That's very important. Okay. Well, Maddie, appreciate you coming out tonight. Enjoy your pizza. Okay, and who we have next?
Brody.
Brody, okay. Let's see, your brother bowled, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So was that because of him you decided to take up bowling?
Oh,
or-
100%.
Okay, all right. So, because you were playing other sports?
I was playing basketball, and bowling never really crossed my mind until Gabe started bowling.
Okay, all right. So was it a hard decision to make, to give up basketball after you played at that for a while? or-
Honestly, no. I just found something in bowling that I really enjoyed, and I just stuck with it.
Okay, yeah. And having pretty good success as a freshman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell him what, from Saturday.
Yeah, the Redmen Classic that you guys had Saturday.
Yep.
So how'd you do? I mean, it's like you're not really bowling head to head, but you're bowling 5 against 5.
It is one of those, it is a sport to where, yes, at tournaments, they will recognize the top couple teams, top first and second place teams, but then there's also usually like an all tournament team, so they'll
Okay.
take the top 10 players. And there was a field of 132 boys and 124 girls. Brody, you can tell them how you finished out.
I kind of came in first
Oh, wow.
with a
Okay.
690 and broke the school and tournament record.
Oh, wow.
So he did well.
Not bad for a freshman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've not plateaued now, or you think you're going to go up from there? Your coach is hoping it's going to be that.
I hope it is too.
Yeah.
I really want to cross 700 by the end of the
You
year.
set the
but-
bar kind of high for yourself. at this
Oh,
point.
100%.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
Right?
no.
Set that bar high, and you might achieve that goal.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you play other sports besides ball?
I golf, and then spring sport, I'm really kind of undecided. I'm thinking of tennis or baseball. I don't really know yet.
Okay, all right. So, again, being involved, that's the thing. But
Yeah.
the sport is kind of immaterial at this point, it's the fact that you are involved.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have
Hayden.
Redmen, and you're a senior?
Yep.
Okay, and so you've been a 4-year bowler as well? Okay. Kind of what got you into bowling?
My dad started, my mom and dad made me bowl since I was 3. So I've kind of been just going along with that. And I enjoy bowling. So
Okay.
I love doing it. It's a fun sport. So that's what got me into the bowling.
Now, you're related to Curtis?
Yes.
How are you related to him?
Are you talking about Gertis Jr.?
I probably knew Curtis Senior.
Because that was my grandpa.
Okay, that's your grandpa.
Yeah.
Okay. I worked with him for a while, and I knew he was a good bowler, right?
I've never seen him bowl, but my dad says he was a good bowler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was a pretty good bowler, yeah. Okay. So you play other sports as well?
No, actually I don't. Other than bowling, I just work.
Oh, okay, you're working now, okay. Yeah, sometimes you get that junior, senior year. that
Yeah,
some of the
it's,
kids do get it.
they got cars, they have things that they want to put that money towards.
Yeah, mom and dad can't put all the bills, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, listen, enjoy your pizza, and good luck to you the rest of the season. Sounds like you guys are having a successful season so far.
We are, they're doing very well, and each one have only lost one in the league.
Okay.
So they're doing,
Sure.
they're doing well.
Okay.
Records are being broken, so it's a good thing, and
That's
they're having a good time.
That's the key.
Yeah.
We're gonna come back for some final comments from Coach Kaple, but we want to remind you, first of all, that we're brought to you in part by Tabitha Smith. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say Tabitha, but it is tonight. And Associates at Waycraft Industries, Rod Steiger and Associates at Pizza Hut, Bucyrus and Gallion, pizza provider for Coach's Corner West. For the duration, these guys have done this since the beginning, about 30 years now. So we appreciate Rod Steiger and his group. And Burkhardt family at Burkhardt Farm Sales, your Case IH dealer on the Winchester Road. So Coach Kaple, you already had your own invitational, the Redmen Classic.
Yes.
And that was Saturday. That was very successful. You were talking about
It was.
the big turnout and the number of teams that were there.
Yep, it has grown from our very first year of having 7 teams to 19. We do 2 sessions, boys in the morning, girls in the afternoon. So so we have a total of 38 teams. So it's a long day.
Yeah.
It was a very long day. We didn't get out of there till about 8 at night, but very successful. We have coming up, like I said, we have a full schedule of January. January is our busiest schedule. We prepare ourselves getting ready going into sectionals.
Okay.
So we're building up duration and trying to get these kids being able to figure out the lane conditions and transitions.
Sure.
And our next big thing that we have coming up, though, we also host a JV tournament.
Oh, okay.
That is on January 7th.
Okay.
So we have 20 teams. It's a same session. It's boys and girls together instead of the 2 sessions.
Okay.
So we have 20 teams of that. That'll be on Saturday the 7th. And then it's tournaments every weekend. Yeah, she's pulled up the schedule. She's like, there it is. So we have matches, 2 to
Besides your
3.
league matches during the
We
week.
have January has like 2 to 3 matches per week plus tournaments every week. So we're like a solid 3 to 4 per week.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's
that's pretty rugged.
it's a tough schedule.
Because you mix in the fact that everything's not at home, you're traveling.
Right. Thursdays are our home matches. If anybody would like to come out and watch, Thursdays are all our home matches.
Oh, okay.
At 4:00, and then we travel. Usually Tuesdays and Wednesdays we travel.
Okay. How many league, do you play double round robin in the league?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So we have played everyone in the league.
Okay.
And so the boys, the only one they lost to was Wimford. So we have them coming back on January 5th. We play Wimford, and the girls only lost to Liberty Benton. And they're our last match,
Okay.
So we'll see that round robin when they're all back at our house.
Yeah, okay. And Liberty Benton's a pretty big high school.
They are.
Compared to us,
Yeah.
they're not like Division I, but
They're a fun, and we enjoy bowl, and they're a fun group to bowl.
Yeah,
So.
okay. All right. well, continued success in your
Thank
season.
you.
And I'm sure you're scheduled for another segment. We do this as,
Yes.
instead of it, like every week at Pizza Hut, we go to every school once
I
every 3
think we're back
weeks.
on January 30th.
Oh,
is
okay.
our next
Yeah.
time.
So by then, you might know something about sectionals and
Yes.
something like that.
Yep,
Okay.
we should know everything for
Okay.
sectionals.
Good deal. All right. Well, again, thanks for coming out.
Thank
Enjoy
you
your
for having
pizza.
us.
And we want to remind you that we're brought to you in part by Blythe Freely and Tom McDougal at Freely and Company Insurance in New Washington, Ted Coder at Monarch Body Shop in New Washington, and the Ohio State University at Marion, a Big Ten education close to home. Coming up next, we have Bucyrus Boys JV basketball tonight with Coach Brian Argus, and we'll be back right after this.